The 2025 Arnold Strongwoman Classic is about to take place, and we're here to tell you everything you need to know. This is the third year of this competition. It's been a battle every year so far, and I expect this one to be exactly the same.
These
12 athletes this time on the women's side, and the women's contests over the last few years have been epic.
Yeah, they're so hard to predict as well. It's
Different winner in every damn competition.
it is.
The podium kind of goes all over the place. Events are very important when it comes to the women's competitions. Last year's winner, nobody expected Angelica Jardine. She came from nowhere and she was amazing.
I was keeping a close eye on predictions last year. So many people just had her in last place because they knew nothing about her, which is fair. We could have a similar story with Jennifer Lau this year.
Well, actually, we've got a bit more information with Jennifer, whereas Angelica was so new to the sport.
Well, she'd done that Amateur Arnold's Open where she could play second behind Erin.
Yeah.
And then she won America's Strongest Woman. But yeah, she was pretty unknown. But even for some of the more established names here, when it comes to these new events, we just don't have the data to predict accurately. So we just have to... Best guesses.
Best guesses. It is going to be very much that. Yeah. Very quickly, the lineup for the women. We've got the current champion, Angelica Jardine. Andrea Thompson from the UK, former podium finisher at the Arnolds. Erin Murray taking part in her second Arnold Strongwoman Classic. For the first time at the Arnolds, we've got Gabby Dixon, a lady with incredible grip strength. Inez Carrasquillo, the rogue champion, and how good was she at that
amazing
contest. Jennifer Lau going to be competing in this year's competition. The deadlift record holder, Lucy Underdown, is coming back, as is Melissa Peacock from Canada, Nadia Stowers from the USA, the ever consistent athlete from Ukraine, Olga Lashuk, Rebecca Roberts, 3 times world's strongest woman, and Samantha Bellevue make up this 12-woman lineup. Incredible athletes.
Yeah,
6 events, same as the men. The events: max deadlift, overhead medley, timber carry, the big jerk, carry and drag, and they finish with the stone to shoulder. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Well, let's start with the deadlift then. Right. Now, this is easier to predict, I think, especially at the very top. I do expect Lucy to win the deadlift. She's won the deadlift however many times in competition. Now, I can't remember the last time she didn't win a deadlift. So I expect Lucy to win. I expect Andrea to be second, and for it not to be that close, to be honest. Andrea looks incredible in her deadlift right now, seriously strong. At the Rogue Invitational, she became the second woman in Strongwoman to go over 300 kilos out of a suit. Yeah. And she also set the Masters world record for the women there as well. So I think Andrea will be second. Behind that, I think you need to be looking at Olga, Angelica, and then Inez.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Olga is always super consistent.
She's very consistent.
She's one of the most consistent women.
Yeah, she is. The only thing she struggles a little bit with is her grip. So the timber carry, she tends to drop a few points on. But other than that, she's there or thereabouts in every single event. She is like
I think
a fighter as well.
I was looking at results. And although she hasn't won so many comps recently, she's always on the podium.
Yeah, she is. She's so consistent.
Always on the podium. She's very, very consistent. Anyway, we move to event number 2, which would be the overhead medley. Dumbbell into stone press into a log, and it's a trump log, 2 different logs. How heavy is the heavy log? 122 kilos. 122.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
oh, there
122
you go.
kilos and 100 kilo log. 1 rep with the heavier log beats any amount of reps on the lighter log.
Not many women have got this heavier log. No. Andrea, Inez, who else has got
Olga,
it?
I believe.
And Olga. I think they're the only ones in this lineup who have managed that heavier log. Victoria Long had got it in the past, obviously. She's not here.
Yeah.
Maybe Angelica Jardine. Maybe Angelica. So same rules as the men. They've got a 2.5 minute time limit. It is split time on every single implement as well. Now, when you put it all together, it's very difficult, I think, to see past the consistency of Inez on an overhead.
Her training has looked ridiculous.
She's ridiculous. Like, she's such a beast. She's gone into sort of morphed into like this lifting monster.
I think something interesting
and
to
I
point
mean that
out
with respect.
Is since she won the Rogue Invitational, she has gone full time.
She has.
Her performance at the Rogue was really a coming of age contest. She stepped, like, she was one of those athletes we always talked about with potential but makes mistakes.
Yeah.
At Rogue, there was no mistakes.
No.
There was just awesomeness.
Yeah.
And she sort of carried that confidence into her training leading up to this. And she's looking the best she's ever looked. If we just go based off people's training, she is the favourite for this competition.
I think so, yeah.
She still has to perform.
Yeah,
but
she still has to not make mistakes.
yes,
also,
exactly that. But she is looking incredible. And if we could bet on this, I think she'd be the bookies' favourite.
She'd be my favourite.
Yeah, and for an event like this, the overhead particularly, this is where she excels. Great technique, great power, very adaptable, so good at all three different types of, or all four overhead implements that are in this competition.
Yeah.
There's, some athletes are really good at certain implements. So Sam is awesome at the dumbbell.
Yeah.
Andrea is awesome at the log.
Sam's looking very good overhead.
She is.
In training for the first time, she's managed to hit this weight of the heavier log. So she's someone who could be just getting one rep for the women on that heavier log is going to be decent points, like really
Massive.
Decent points. So it's going to be interesting. Angelica, we haven't seen her do this because, you rightly pointed out, off camera, they did the dumbbell last year. But it's going to be interesting. I expect Inez to win it. I think Andrea could come second. Rebecca's log is looking better than ever, and she's capable now.
Capable of that heavy log. So.
I think Olga's going to be right up there again, along with Angelica too. Lucy, this is going to be.
Lucy's been training her overhead hard.
Yeah, and it's looking decent. I just don't know though. I just don't know.
It's hard to get that log after doing the other implements when we've seen them just do the log before and fail.
Yeah,
that is the factor, is how much. And although a lot of them can do these earlier implements fairly comfortably, they still take up energy.
Yeah, of course.
So just because you've done the log on its own doesn't necessarily mean you'll do it after doing those other events. But I do think we may see more athletes get this log
than before.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Event number 3 is the timber carry, and this is an exciting one. They upped the weight last year. I believe they've upped it slightly again.
Have they really? Is it 265 kilos?
Yes.
Then it's the same weight as last year. Yeah, so the year before that, it was about 80 pounds lighter, and most, if not all women, finished it. It was too light, to be fair. They upped the weight last year, and it's definitely become a much bigger challenge. Now, I think Andrea and Rebecca have to be the favourites on this event, I think.
They were, along with Hannah Lindsay, who's not competing this year, they were the top 3.
Yeah, they were.
At this event last year, Andrea taking the win, Rebecca was in 3rd.
Yeah.
Both of them, superb grip, both of them very fast at moving with the frame. I think they should be scoring big points on this one.
Yeah, both of them. I'm excited to see Nadia Stowers on this. She's got great grip and is a really good mover as well. Lucy can score solid points here. Inez also, obviously, she had that terrible accident last year, but she's...
I was going to say, she's going to be interesting because... Does the fear of what happened last year affect her?
Nah.
Or is she just a warrior and doesn't care?
She's a warrior and doesn't care. She carried on the whole damn competition with her face beat up.
And she went the furthest last year out of anyone that didn't finish.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. She no, that's behind her. It's in the past. She's going to be absolutely fine.
I'm with you, but just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Does she
I asked her that in the interview, but you don't watch my interviews.
What did she say?
She's over it. She doesn't care.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm not going to make that same mistake again.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm interested to see Gabby Dixon on this one as well.
Yeah, Gabby's
got a tremendous grip. Not quite sure she's as fast as some of those other women. However, I may be wrong. And, Gabby's one of these that doesn't post a lot of training videos. She's more fun with her videos.
She's a fun social media
but
person.
She is an absolute beast in the nicest way. And her grip is phenomenal. And grip strength is key on this frame.
It is. She is one of the few that has never done this, though. So that could be a factor, whereas the other women have that experience.
Yeah. Moving on to day 2, we start with a big jerk. And again, you can't mention anyone else other than Inez on this one.
We can.
You can mention, but she is the heavy favourite when it comes to this.
And speaking of heavy, she's hoping for a battle that sees her push to 400 pounds. Now, I don't think she's going to get what she wants, to be honest, because I just don't see how anyone could push her.
If she wants to do 400 pounds, she's doing it as an exhibition
lift. As a YOLO fourth lift that she doesn't even need because she's won it already.
But no one else is pushing her close to that.
No. We've seen some incredible numbers in training. Sam Bellevue is looking excellent on this. Andrea is always really solid overhead. I expect great things from Olga. I think Angelica could be really good here too, but I just don't see Inez being pushed to those dizzy heights. 400 pounds would be absolutely insane. Crazy.
I couldn't do that.
No.
Not right now.
I could never deadlift it in my life. It's wild.
It's crazy numbers.
Crazy.
Yeah, very, very impressive. She, again, looking really, really strong.
Yeah.
And it's why she is the favourite for this competition.
I think
she's
so.
looking very, very good. I think it's important for the other, if you can get fourth, third, that's going to be the real battle. Because I think there's a number of them that could be really, really close.
There'll be a great battle, I think, behind Inez.
Event number 5 for the contest is the carry and drag, the trial by timber. Now, I mentioned on the men's side that I can see the tall, heavy athletes doing well. I think this one is really good for Rebecca Roberts.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be great for Rebecca. I think it's going to be great for Inez also. I remember the OSG, the Go Ruck challenge. She pulled so hard thinking it would be heavier than it is that she was just a turtle on her back for this bloody rucksack she could get.
I'm glad they got rid of those rucksacks.
Yeah, there's no rucksacks here. The weight is going to be everything though, because there are some much smaller athletes on the women's side. People like Sam are so fast at things like this, but if it's fiercely heavy,
Erin as well. Erin's like super quick, but
it's such a disadvantage to give away so much.
We're going to have to wait and see, because they've been given a weight, but the weight until you test it on the surface really is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how hard it actually is.
Yeah.
If it's lighter, some of those lighter athletes could do very well. If it's heavy, it will come down to the power and the size of the bigger athletes. And then finally, as the women are finishing with the stone to shoulder. I believe we're looking at around 300 pounds, maybe just shy.
It's 130 kilos, the women's
stone.
stone.
Bit shy of 300 pounds, but still
or
very,
115
very heavy.
kilos. I think, for considering no tacky into their shoulder, I think this is wildly heavy. I see maybe 2 women getting that heavy stone.
Very, very difficult event.
Yeah, I think...
A last event of the contest as well.
Yeah.
Battered bodies, sore backs, sore hands at this point.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be hurting. It will come down to who wants it the most. It could come down to a battle of just reps with a lighter stone.
Yeah.
It could
I can see a lot of people failing the lighter stone even. To be honest, it's still massive.
It's a real challenge. It is going to be very, very difficult. From what I've seen in training, again, Inez's name has to be thrown in there. She's looked very good. Angelica was amazing with the stone to shoulder at last year's Arnold's.
Yeah.
That was a different type of stone. It wasn't an Atlas stone.
No.
But she has looked good in training.
Yeah. Nadia's great at handling big stones. Olga, we should never discount Olga.
Never count Olga out. Again, just like the same with the men's side, the women's contest is going to be epic, and the women are always epic.
The women are great to watch, lots and lots of fun.
As we've said, there's been a different winner of almost every single female competition that's been happening over the last couple of years. I do feel that Inez is coming in as the favourite.
I think so. With these events, I do. And the current shape that she's in and what we're seeing in her training footage, it's difficult to look past Inez as a winner. But I think it could be a great battle to the very end, especially for those 2 podium spots. And there's so many women who could be there. So many. It's going to be
impossible to predict.
But we've seen this where it's super close all the way through in points. Like at the Arnold UK last year, Lucy Underdown came into the day 2 in 9th place, I think it was, and she ended up winning.
Yeah.
So that goes to show it's half points a lot of the time. Yeah.
I'm always excited to watch the women. It's going to be a hell of a battle. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, don't forget, like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.